You're watching Dante Boxing Nation.
There you go. It's good, but it's a little too dark from, let me see. Let's try this from this angle. Come this way. Couldn't see your face when you come here. Okay, there, better.
Okay.
All right, ready? Go ahead.
Hi, you're watching Dante Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So about 3 or 4 days ago, there was a report from an inside source, a close official to the situation, that Jaron Ennis and Virgil ORTIZ, they had agreed on all terms to fight against each other at 154. Now we're getting reports that negotiations have completely fell apart. And the main reason, at least according to these reports, is because Jaron Ennis is still looking at unification bouts at 147, which is not really surprising at all. Because when the IBF ordered Boots to fight against Chukachan a second time, Jaron, he had two options: to either vacate the belt and move up to 154, or defend his title and continue his goal of becoming undisputed or at least a unified champion at 147. I mean, because after all, Jaron Ennis, he never even had to fight for the title at 147. It was handed to him because Crawford moved up to 154. Now, while it would be amazing to see Jaron Ennis versus Virgil ORTIZ on the biggest card ever, at least when it comes to how stacked it is, the fact that Jaron Ennis chose to once again stay at 147 and fight against Chukachan again was a strong indication that Jaron was not in a hurry to move up, because he had unfinished business at 147. Now, I had already told you guys before the second fight with Karen Chukachan that I felt it was always Eddie Hearn that was trying to rush Jaron to move up to 154, obviously because that's where the bigger fights are, but I've always felt that Eddie Hearn's ultimate goal is to feed Jaron Ennis to his new favorite fighter, Israel Madrimov. I feel Eddie, he wants to put Boots in there with ORTIZ, assuming that Boots beats ORTIZ. Eddie would most likely feed him to Madrimov. And the reason why I use the word feed is because I do not believe that Jaron Ennis would beat Madrimov at 154, especially the way he looked against Chukachan. And Karen Chukachan, I believe, is a better fighter than Virgil ORTIZ. But Madrimov is a much better fighter than Chukachan, and much bigger as well. But if you guys have listened to all of Eddie Hearn's interviews, once again, even before the Chukachan rematch, Eddie has always made it clear that he really wants Jaron to move up right away. And Jaron has always implied that he wants to unify first. I mean, usually when fighters move up in weight is because they feel that they have completely conquered that weight class, like Terrence Crawford did, becoming undisputed, or fighters move up because they can't make the weight anymore. But it's unfortunate for the fighter when he's only moving up in weight because none of the other champions will fight him, which has been the situation for Jaron Ennis. Before the Chukachan rematch, Boots was trying to make a fight against Brian Norman, Mario Barrios, and Stanionis. They all turned down the fight. But now, after Boots put on the worst performance of his career, they're trying to send offers out to those champions again. And if all of those fighters turn down the Ennis fight, then Ennis will have no choice but to move up to 154. Virgil ORTIZ's manager, he came out and he says someone needs to help fix Boots' career. There's a big hole in his soul. He also said everyone already understood that the fight had to be at 154 from the beginning. And the reason he's making that clear is because there was also talks, I guess, from Jaron's side that they even wanted the fight to perhaps be at 147, which would make no sense at all. Because Jaron, he wouldn't get the full credit if he were to beat him at 147. ORTIZ, he moved up to 154 a long time ago. Now, something else Virgil ORTIZ's manager said, he said that Jaron Ennis, he said about 22 times that he wants to move up to 154. But he's also said 22 times that he wants to unify and become undisputed at 147 and then move up. I'm going to keep saying it. I truly believe that it was Eddie Hearn that was putting a lot of pressure on Jaron to move up to 154. I mean, if Boots was able to fight against Brian Norman or Mario Barrios in his next fight, and it was still on this card, it would still make for a big card and a very significant fight for Jaron. But it's going to be hard to justify staying at 147 if none of these guys will fight Jaron next. So I think there's no doubt about it that if the Boots-Ortiz fight doesn't happen right now, it's definitely going to be because of Jaron Ennis. And now Virgil Ortiz, he just reacted to this whole situation on social media. And he's basically saying this whole situation with Boots now proves that Ortiz was never ducking Boots, even from the beginning when they were both fighting at 147, which is untrue. Because Ortiz, he was definitely avoiding Boots when they were both fighting at 147. This is the post that Ortiz put up.
I've always said I'll fight anybody, and I remain true to my word. Every single person that I have been offered to fight, I said yes. It takes two to tango in boxing. So if I'm not in that ring fighting someone, no, it's not my fault. Time for some of you guys to stop saying, I'm ducking and don't want to fight, because that's not the case. This time and never was. 100.
At the end of the day, credit still goes out to Virgil Ortiz for accepting this fight right now, even though it is a Jaron Ennis that's moving up in weight and coming off of his worst performance. And when it comes to Jaron, I will definitely say that when you turn down a fight against someone at a higher weight class, it's not the exact same thing as turning down a fight against someone in your weight class. But if Jaron can't get any of the other champions in the ring with him, then there's really nothing else he can do at 147. Therefore, it makes sense for him to move up to 154. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.
All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO-DeKey Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to LODekey.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.